I just wanted to make a little video about my 1FZ. It's got the Kelford 225B cams in it, obviously NA. I posted a few things on Facebook and whatnot, and Instagram had a lot of interest about it, people wanting to do it and know a bit about the specs and whatnot. So what I've had done is I've taken the head off. While I'm at it, I've done a head gasket. Um, it's optional, but I went through and did ARP head studs just because I had them at the time, and there's always the option to turbo it later, and it's already in and whatnot. And I found it a lot easier because my dyno tuner and engine shop recommended for me to do the stage 2 cam instead of stage 1. And obviously, with that, what you really want to do is upgrade the valve springs, is what I've done as well, and they're Kelford as well. I'll chuck those up, like the 80-pound ones. So yeah, had the head off, taken it to the machine shop. Something I've experienced, which you guys might experience. Me and the machine shop guys reckoned it was because this might be an aftermarket head, but the camshaft lobes was actually fouling on the inside. I'll chuck a video up now of that. So yeah, it's a super weird situation, but Kelford just reckoned to get that ground down. They said it's common on some other engines and whatnot, and it could be, yeah, because this is an aftermarket head. But so I've gotten that all ground down, and it all fit. I put it all back together, and then I got it idling, and I'll chuck a video up of the rough idle it had. Definitely needed a tune, but here's that. So once I had it idling, or you could call it that, I just adjusted the idle screw so just somewhat idle, and then got it sent down on a tow truck down to Knight Family Motorsport to get them dyno tune it. And obviously I have an aftermarket ECU, Elite 750. This is just a little plate I made, which has the mounting brackets for a fuse box and the O2 um, controller. But that's later on. I'm getting a full harness made, but for now I just have the Elite 750. And to go along with that, to make tunability easier, what I've gone through and done is I have a mass airflow delete, so that box is no longer there, and instead I've got the intake temperature sensor, which reads like your pressure. And what I've seen a few other people do, which I've done, is it's just tapped into the side of here. I have to take that off so you don't get metal through your engine, obviously. But it's just a whole. It allows you to tune it better. It's a lot smaller. It doesn't create restriction, and also that was like $52. And I'm sure some of you know the mass airflow here is like I think $500 to replace. Just walk through all this junk. Just recently did a 79 scoop. But down here we've got I've got a wideband O2 sensor, which the dyno tuner recommended heavily, like just for complete tunability of it. And that's what you with that, and the sensor is really what can get you to really tune in your like fuel usage and just dial it in completely. So I recommend having those two as well. And the whole aftermarket ECU is a must have if you're doing CAN. The stock 1FZ sensor will not be able to read properly. Now, luckily for you guys, I've had to go through this process twice now because my factory ECU kind of shit the bed. So I just thought I'd spend the extra money, and because I was looking down, I wasn't 100% sure, but turbo handling or whatever, which I'd need the ECU for anyway. So I just forked out the money to get that. And along with that, I did the coil coil unplug conversion. These are the 2GR FE coil packs with the Spartan Performance kit. So they're all plug-ins. Like even mine, I have that, which gives you like a little bit more power. So it's just waterproof. You don't have leads going everywhere. That's the Dizzy cap that you need, and that's a whole different process because with the Haltech needs to read like a knock. Has to have like a trigger system of the cam rotation, and that all gets read through here. So this has been modified inside your trigger and home wires to go through here because that's the Dizzy has a little gear that reads off the cam. So basically, that's what reads all of that, and this is separately wired into that. But yeah, luckily I spent the money twice, so it helps you guys get a better understanding. But so stock, this is mass airflow sensor leads, all of that like completely stock. I ran 121 horsepower, and then after I got the Haltech Elite 750 put in the coil packs and that sensor, just that, like no cams, I've run a 164 horsepower, which is pretty good bump up there. It's obviously through Haltech now. It's all being programmed properly, read properly. You know, it's got like waterproof ignition and all that stuff. But after I've gone through to Knight Family Motorsport and done the springs and the cams, we've gone through, and that has given me a 211 horsepower run, which is I'm very happy with. Like this is all NA, just cams, and surprisingly, me and the Dyno Tuner were surprised, but down low, like there's been a pretty good increase in performance. Like you can feel it while driving as well, because you know some cams you just have that top end power, but there's actually been, I think we calculated it, and it was a 55 horsepower increase in around the 2,500 3,000 range. So you can feel that while driving. It's super awesome. I'm not yet to drive it enough to the point where I can give you an accurate feel difference between stock and cams, but I will get onto that. But yeah, overall, 211 horsepower, pretty good low end. And as you can see, they keep wanting to rev out. Like they're definitely happy about it. I'll just put that up there if you want to pause the video, read more about it. Quick start on it. It hasn't been started in a few days, so I guess you can call it a cold start. Here's my IC7 dash, but hasn't started in a few days, so. And some of you might know that you can't really get your cold start and whatnot done properly through, like with the one I said, because of the idle position sensor. It's just super hard to program a cold start unless you have it there for a few days and they get it well. But Knight Family Motorsport did a pretty good job on that, but here's that. And once it heats up a bit, it gets a bit more choppier. But running through, I have Hurricane headers that I got second hand, which goes down into their Y pipe. That's a high flow cap. And then that goes up into a 3-inch exhaust made for a DT, which I've just modified where it meets up with the Y pipe, which comes out the back. And I've just put another little hot dog muffler here, like as of recent, just because it's getting a bit drony, and it ended like back here, so it kind of just went up and stunk and whatnot. But I'll come back and get a video once it's heated up a bit more. Like 2,000 revs, I'm like going 30 now. I think 40% throttle, going 60. Now it's no race car, but you know, it picks up pretty well down low. So just after taking around the block, it's at operating temperature. There's your idle on the top left. Yeah, it's got a bit of a chop to it, but this is its full chop once it's heated up. Sounds pretty nice in my opinion. So yeah, got a pretty nice chop to it. So yeah, that's just a real quick overview of my cam install. Just leave down in the comments below, like I can do a really in-depth kind of version of that. I can also make a different video. Um, People want to get in depth all the health tech and shit I put into it, and problems I've had with that and whatnot. But yeah, I'm slowly building this thing up. Soon, I want to make a bull bar, get a few little problems done. Yeah, I'm getting a full wiring harness done, so I have no problems there because mine's all cracked and brittle and whatnot. But at the moment, I've got flipped arms, Kinsella's Customs. Could do a video on that as well. But they're awesome. Love the way they drive. They drive well. But yeah. Oh, thanks for watching. Be cool to see more people do NA stuff.